I laughingly said, "If you were 30, I'd bring you along," and my neighbor murmured, "Stop making excuses." Sunlight glinted off its silver hull, creating tiny sparks that danced like fireflies in the emptiness of orbit. Inside, the corridors hummed softly with the energy of life and work. Humans had learned to live in space, and each station was a small world of its own, filled with scientists, engineers, and thinkers trying to push the boundaries of knowledge. Leora walked down one of the main corridors, her boots making soft clicks on the metal floor. She carried a small tablet in her hands, reviewing the schedule for the upcoming interstellar survey mission. Her brow furrowed as she read. Only a handful of crew members had been selected, veterans with years of experience, all above 30. The rules were strict. "Ridiculous," she muttered under her breath, shaking her head. Behind her, a soft chuckle responded. "I heard that," said Arden, leaning casually against the wall. His dark hair was slightly tousled and his eyes sparkled with curiosity. He was young, too young, according to station rules, but he had a reputation for clever ideas and quick thinking. "I didn't say it out loud," Leora replied with a grin. "It's just this mission. The organizers are being careful, I suppose. Too careful." Arden smirked. "Careful or lazy?" Leora laughed lightly. "If you were 30, I'd bring you along," she said, half joking. "You've got the talent, you've got the brains, but you're, well, 15 years too young." Arden's grin didn't falter. He murmured softly, almost like he was speaking to himself, "Stop making excuses." The words hung in the corridor like a small challenge. Leora blinked. Arden was too young to be serious, but the way he said it, there was confidence there, a quiet determination. She shook her head and laughed again, a little nervously. "You're impossible," she said. "Maybe," Arden replied, his tone calm. "But impossible is what makes humans interesting, isn't it?" For a moment they walked in silence. The hum of the station was comforting, but the thought of the upcoming mission made Leora restless. She glanced at Arden, thinking about the way he observed the world around him, always noticing small details that adults often missed. "Tell me," she said finally, "what would you do if you were allowed to go?" Arden tilted his head. "I'd study the anomalies. You know, the things sensors pick up but scientists can't explain. I'd figure out how to interact with them. Maybe even make new tools to help us understand them better." Leora felt a thrill of admiration. Even if the mission rules didn't allow him, Arden's mind was sharp. He had ideas. He could think in ways others could not. "You know," she said slowly, "humans are good at rules. We follow them, but we're even better at bending them in clever ways." Arden's eyes lit up. "Exactly. That's why I'm not worried." The two of them reached the observation deck, a large window that stretched across the room. Beyond the glass, stars shimmered like diamonds scattered across black velvet. The Earth rotated slowly below, its oceans and continents alive with motion. The beauty was breathtaking, and for a moment both of them forgot about rules, missions, and age limits. "You ever think about how small we are?" Arden asked softly. "All the time," Leora admitted. "But small doesn't mean powerless. Humans have a way of surprising everyone, even themselves." Arden nodded, staring at the stars. "I want to surprise them. Show them that age isn't everything. That creativity, cleverness, and courage, those matter more." Leora smiled. He sounded almost like a teacher now, wise beyond his years. And she realized something important. Humans were not just explorers because of technology. Humans were explorers because of imagination. The intercom buzzed, interrupting their thoughts. "Leora, Arden," a voice called, "meeting in the lab in 5 minutes. Important updates on the survey mission." They exchanged glances. Arden didn't hesitate. "Lead the way," he said. In the lab, the room was filled with monitors, holographic displays, and models of spacecraft and celestial phenomena. Veteran crew members were discussing details of the mission, the limitations of their sensors, and the strategies for collecting data. Leora and Arden listened quietly, absorbing every detail. The leader, Dr. Selwyn, was explaining why the mission only included experienced adults. "The anomalies we'll encounter are unpredictable," she said. "We need people who can make decisions under pressure, who have years of training. It's not about intelligence, it's about experience." Arden raised his hand slightly. "What if we could train faster, use new tools or AI to help us make decisions?" There was a moment of silence. Some crew members frowned, unsure of how to respond to a teenager's suggestion, but Leora's eyes lit up. Arden was not asking permission, he was thinking ahead. Dr. Selwyn sighed. "We can't change the rules for one person, Arden. It's a matter of safety." Arden nodded. "I understand, but safety doesn't mean we can't try smarter ways to approach it." Leora felt a spark of excitement. Arden wasn't reckless. He was clever, inventive, and observant. And maybe, just maybe, rules could be bent without breaking them. After the meeting, they walked together to a quieter corridor. Arden looked thoughtful. "I'm going to build something," he said. "What?" Leora asked, curious. "Something that proves humans aren't just defined by age," Arden replied. "Something that shows skill, intelligence, and creativity can matter more than years." Leora smiled. She had no idea what he was planning, but she knew one thing. The young prodigy had just set himself on a path that would challenge everything the station believed about experience and age, and she wanted to be part of it. "Count me in," she said. Arden grinned. "I knew you would." That evening, as the station rotated silently above Earth, Leora and Arden worked in the lab. Holographic blueprints glowed in the dim light. Small tools clinked and whirred as Arden assembled components with precision. Leora offered ideas, adjusted parameters, and tested simulations. Every step required thinking, creativity, and careful problem-solving. Hours passed quickly. Neither of them noticed the slow rotation of Earth below or the distant shimmer of stars. They were absorbed in the challenge, their minds dancing with possibilities. Finally, Arden leaned back, hands on his hips, eyes gleaming. "It's ready for testing," he said. Leora nodded. "Tomorrow, then, let's see if humans can do more than just follow rules." Outside, the station continued its silent orbit, and in the minds of two humans, one young, one experienced, a spark had been lit. A spark of curiosity, ingenuity, and determination. It was the beginning of something remarkable. Because in space, in the quiet hum of a station above Earth, humans were about to remind the universe. It was not age or experience that defined them. It was imagination, creativity, and the courage to try. And for Arden, Leora, and the rest of humanity, the adventure was only just beginning. The lab was quiet except for the soft hum of machines and the occasional beep of a monitor. Arden stood over a small console, fingers moving quickly, adjusting circuits and checking readings. Leora watched him, amazed at how focused he could be. His young face reflected excitement, determination, and an understanding that belied his age. "This is incredible," Leora said softly. "You've thought of everything." Arden didn't look up. "Not everything, but enough. This is just the beginning. The sensors, the AI, the control interface, it all works together. Tomorrow we test it in the simulation chamber." Leora nodded. She was both nervous and excited. The simulation chamber was where the station tested ideas before they were allowed anywhere near real missions. If Arden's invention worked, it could challenge the rules of the upcoming survey mission, and perhaps change how the station viewed age and experience. "That AI assistant," Leora asked, "it can analyze anomalies faster than the standard software." Arden grinned. "Faster, yes. Smarter, yes. And it can suggest solutions that humans might not think of immediately. It won't replace us, but it will make humans more efficient and precise." Leora's eyes lit up. That was exactly the kind of thinking humans were known for, the ability to combine imagination and skill with technology, to make things that were both clever and practical. Arden had done exactly that. The next morning, they walked into the simulation chamber together. The room was large, circular, and filled with holographic projectors. Models of stars, planets, and strange cosmic phenomena floated in the air. The chamber could simulate conditions anywhere in the universe. "Ready?" Leora asked. Arden nodded. "Ready." They activated the system, and a holographic storm of swirling cosmic energy appeared before them. Sensors blinked, lights danced across the walls, and the simulation began to shift and change in real time. "Observe," Arden said, pointing to the swirling holograms. "Notice how the energy behaves when we introduce minor variables." Most humans would follow a strict pattern and hope for the best, but watch how the AI responds. Leora leaned closer. The AI interface lit up, analyzing the simulation, identifying patterns, and suggesting several paths to safely navigate the anomaly. Arden had designed it to complement human intuition, not replace it. "It's fast," Leora said, "and it's learning." "Yes," Arden replied. "It adapts, it watches, predicts, and suggests. We can test all scenarios without risking the station." They spent hours in the chamber, running simulations, adjusting variables, and observing how the AI responded. Arden explained his reasoning, how each decision was influenced by patterns humans might overlook. Leora marveled at his approach. It was precise, intelligent, and creative all at once. At one point, a senior engineer, Mr. Kellen, stepped into the chamber. His eyes widened at the holographic display. "Who built this?" he asked, a mix of disbelief and admiration in his voice. Arden straightened. "I did, with some help from Leora." Kellen raised an eyebrow. But you're not technically old enough for this kind of work." "I know," Arden said calmly, "but it's not about age, it's about solving problems. Humans can do that. And we don't need decades to prove it." The engineer shook his head, but a smile appeared. I can see that. Impressive." Leora felt proud. Arden's words were more than clever, they were true. Humans were defined by their ingenuity, their creativity, and their courage, not just the number of years they had lived. By midday, the AI assistant was performing flawlessly. It suggested optimal navigation paths, predicted the effects of anomalies, and even flagged potential errors before they could occur. Leora was impressed, but she also noticed something else. Arden's creation reflected something deeper about humans, the ability to think differently, to imagine solutions that machines alone could not. "See that?" Arden pointed to the holographic display. "The anomaly is shifting faster than expected. The AI just recalculated the trajectory and suggested a new maneuver. Watch how it adapts in real time." Leora nodded, her mind racing. This could change everything. We could safely explore areas no one thought we could. Humans could reach places faster with fewer risks and gather more knowledge. "Exactly," Arden said, smiling. "Humans can adapt, humans can imagine, and humans, we don't give up." As the day went on, other crew members began to gather outside the chamber, curious about the progress. Whispers filled the corridors. "Did you see what Arden made? I can't believe someone so young designed that. Maybe age isn't everything. Even Doctor." Selwyn appeared, her expression unreadable. She watched quietly as Arden ran another simulation, adjusting the AI's parameters and explaining how humans could work with the system to explore anomalies safely. Finally, after hours of testing, Arden turned to Leora. "It works." "It's ready." Leora felt a rush of excitement. "We need to show this to the mission committee. This could prove that humans, any human, can be more than their age." Arden nodded. "Exactly. Let's do it tomorrow. For now, let's rest. The AI can run overnight tests on its own." That night, Leora lay in her small sleeping pod, staring at the curved window that framed Earth below. She thought about Arden, about the invention, and about what humans were capable of. Age had been a rule, a limit, something the station believed was essential for safety. But Arden had proven something different. Humans weren't limited by years. They were defined by curiosity, ingenuity, and courage. In her dreams, she imagined strange, glowing anomalies in the far reaches of space. She imagined humans reaching them, not with brute force or luck, but with cleverness and creativity. She imagined Arden leading the way, showing everyone that rules were just guidelines and innovation could rewrite them. The next morning, the lab was buzzing with activity. Arden and Leora prepared their presentation for the mission committee. Holograms, simulations, and data points filled the room. Arden's AI assistant ran live demonstrations, predicting outcomes and showing how humans could safely navigate even the most unpredictable anomalies. Crew members, engineers, and scientists watched in awe. The AI wasn't perfect, it never would be, but it showed humans' unique ability to think, adapt, and work with technology in ways machines alone could not. Dr. Selwyn finally spoke, her voice calm but firm. Arden, Leora, what you've created is remarkable, but the rules, they exist for a reason. We can't ignore safety. Arden nodded. I understand, but what we've shown is that humans, regardless of age, can handle challenges in ways the rules didn't anticipate. The AI assists, but humans decide. Humans adapt. Humans think. There was a pause. Dr. Selwyn studied them, her expression softening. Perhaps it's time to reconsider how we define experience. Talent and creativity, perhaps they matter more than age alone. A ripple of excitement spread through the room. Crew members whispered among themselves. The station had been operating under strict rules for decades. If Arden's invention could change the rules, it could open doors for more explorers, more thinkers, more humans willing to push boundaries. Leora felt a thrill in her chest. She glanced at Arden, who looked calm but quietly proud. He had done more than build an AI assistant. He had challenged the station's beliefs about what humans could do. Tomorrow, she whispered, we'll show them. We'll prove that humans aren't just bound by rules. We're bound by imagination. Arden smiled. And we never stopped trying. As the station orbited silently above the planet, humans inside it were waking to a new possibility. Age was no longer the ultimate measure of capability. Creativity, ingenuity, and courage had taken their place. And one young mind had reminded everyone why humanity could always surprise itself. And the universe. The station had returned to its usual rhythm after the excitement of Arden's AI demonstration. Crew members moved efficiently through the corridors, performing routine checks and maintenance. Yet beneath the surface, an undercurrent of curiosity and speculation lingered. The station's leaders had begun to discuss the implications of Arden's invention quietly, hinting at a change in policy that could redefine how humans approached exploration. Arden and Leora worked in the lab as usual, monitoring the AI's performance through simulations. The young prodigy adjusted parameters, watched readings, and refined algorithms with precision. Leora contributed ideas, tested outcomes, and marveled at the way Arden's mind worked. Together, they were unstoppable. Look at this, Arden said suddenly, pointing to a new data feed on the monitor. There's an anomaly forming just outside the station's safety zone. Leora leaned closer. It's unusual. I've never seen patterns like this before. It's moving faster than anything we've charted. The AI assistant analyzed the phenomenon instantly, producing predictive models that changed every few seconds. The energy signature is unstable, Arden explained, and it's heading toward our orbit. Leora frowned. How dangerous is it? Arden shook his head. Unknown. We can't predict everything, but the AI is trying. It's adaptive, yes, but this is new territory. The news spread quickly. Crew members gathered around, their expressions a mix of concern and curiosity. Sensors outside the station confirmed the anomaly, a swirling mass of energy, radiant and unpredictable, moving silently through space. Dr. Selwyn appeared, her usual calm demeanor shadowed by concern. This wasn't in any mission plan, she said. We need to observe and collect data. Safety is our priority. Arden stepped forward, pointing at the display. The AI can help. It can suggest maneuvers, predict changes, and help us interact safely. Humans just need to make the decisions. A few experienced crew members exchanged wary glances. It's untested on real anomalies, one said. Arden nodded. True, but it's the closest thing we have to understanding it. Humans can adapt. That's our advantage. Leora placed a reassuring hand on Arden's shoulder. We'll do it together. The AI assists, but we decide, and we can trust human intuition and creativity. The observation deck became the nerve center of the operation. Holographic displays projected the anomaly in 3 dimensions, and the AI assistant provided a constant stream of updates and predictions. Crew members took turns monitoring, noting patterns, and suggesting possible maneuvers. Notice the fluctuation in energy here, Arden said, highlighting a segment of the holographic projection. It reacts to changes in nearby gravitational fields. If we approach carefully, we can study it without interference. Leora nodded. It's like a puzzle. Every pattern gives us information, and the AI can help us solve it faster. Hours passed as the team worked. The anomaly shifted unpredictably, testing their patience and ingenuity. The AI assistant recalculated trajectories and suggested safe observation points. Every new suggestion required human judgment, and every decision was a chance to prove that humans could handle what machines alone could not. By evening, the anomaly had drawn closer. Its energy rippled against the station's sensors, creating small but measurable fluctuations. The station shuddered slightly, reminding everyone of the stakes. Dr. Selwyn addressed the team. We have 2 choices: retreat to a safer orbit or attempt a closer observation. Both are risky. Any suggestions? Arden stepped forward. Closer observation is possible. The AI has identified a trajectory that minimizes risk, but will need careful coordination and human oversight. Leora added, we can do it. We just need to follow the AI's guidance while applying judgment, humans and machines working together. There was a pause. The senior crew members looked at each other, then back at Arden and Leora. After a tense moment, Dr. Selwyn nodded. Very well, let's proceed. Carefully. The next few hours were a delicate dance. The station adjusted its orbit, guided by the AI's calculations and the crew's oversight. Every movement was small but precise. Arden monitored the anomaly's energy patterns, predicting shifts before they happened. Leora coordinated the crew, ensuring everyone followed the plan. At one point, the anomaly reacted unexpectedly, sending a ripple of energy toward the station. Sensors flashed warnings. Adjust course by 3 degrees, Arden said quickly, eyes glued to the holographic display. The AI predicts this will stabilize the field. Leora relayed the instructions to the navigation team. 3 degrees now. The station shifted smoothly. The energy ripple passed harmlessly by, and the anomaly continued its path. Crew members exchanged relieved smiles. Humans had responded faster than the anomaly could react, thanks to the combination of intellect, intuition, and technology. See, Arden said quietly, humans aren't just following rules, we're adapting, Leora smiled. And that's what makes us remarkable. As night fell over Earth below, the anomaly stabilized, allowing the team to observe its behavior more safely. Holographic projections revealed intricate patterns, ripples of energy forming shapes and sequences no one had expected. The AI assistant analyzed the sequences, but it was human intuition that unlocked the meaning behind them. This is incredible, Leora whispered. It's like the universe is sending us a message, patterns, rhythms, signals we can interpret if we try. Arden nodded, eyes wide with wonder. It's teaching us, and we're learning. The crew spent hours mapping the anomaly, gathering data, and recording every detail. Each observation highlighted human creativity and adaptability. Machines provided calculations, but humans decided which paths to follow, which patterns to explore, and which hypotheses to test. The anomaly had become a test, and humans were proving their worth. Dr. Selwyn watched from the observation deck, her expression softening. "I underestimated you, Arden," she said quietly to Leora. "But this shows something important. Humans can rise to challenges in ways we never expected." Leora glanced at Arden, who smiled modestly. "We're just doing what humans do best," she replied. "We observe, we think, and we adapt." The anomaly remained unpredictable, but the station continued to navigate safely. Crew members worked together seamlessly, guided by the AI but empowered by human judgment. For the first time, the station experienced a new kind of confidence, the certainty that humans with imagination and skill could face the unknown without fear. By dawn, the anomaly began to drift away, its energy patterns stabilizing further from the station. The immediate threat had passed, but the data collected was invaluable. The AI assistant had performed flawlessly, but the true success lay in human decision-making, creativity, and collaboration. Leora and Arden stood together on the observation deck, watching the anomaly fade into the distance. "You see that?" Arden asked. "Humans can do amazing things, we just need the chance." Leora smiled. "And we got that chance. Today we didn't just survive, we learned, adapted, and discovered. That's what makes humans special." Arden's eyes gleamed. "Imagine what we can do next. Other anomalies, other challenges, we can push the boundaries even further." The station hummed softly around them, alive with energy and potential. Humans had faced the unseen threat not with brute force, but with ingenuity, collaboration, and courage. And as the stars shimmered beyond the windows, it was clear. The universe had just witnessed why humans were remarkable. For Arden and Leora, the mission had transformed from a routine observation to a testament of human capability. Rules, age, and tradition mattered less than skill, creativity, and determination. And as the station continued its orbit above Earth, the promise of new discoveries and adventures stretched endlessly before them. Humans had once again reminded the cosmos, even in the face of the unknown, they could adapt, innovate, and thrive. The station hummed with quiet energy, the morning light of a distant sun reflecting off its silver walls. Arden and Leora had spent the night analyzing the data from the anomaly. Though it had drifted away, its patterns had left a complex trail of energy signals. These signals didn't just fade, they changed, evolved, and hinted at something deeper, something the AI alone could not fully interpret. "Look at this," Arden said, pointing to a holographic model in the lab. Streams of glowing lines curved and twisted like invisible threads. "The anomaly is not random, it's structured like it's trying to communicate." Leora leaned in, her eyes following the flowing patterns. "I see it. It's subtle, but there's repetition, almost a rhythm. We've never seen anything like this." Arden smiled. "That's why humans matter. The AI can analyze and predict patterns, but it can't understand the meaning behind them. That's where we come in." Leora nodded, feeling a rush of excitement. Humanity's strength had always been imagination, curiosity, and adaptability. Machines were tools, but humans gave them purpose. This was their chance to prove it once more. The day began with a team meeting. Dr. Selwyn addressed the crew, her tone cautious but encouraging. "The anomaly's behavior suggests more than simple energy fluctuations. Arden and Leora's analysis shows possible communication patterns. This is unprecedented. We need careful observation and creativity to interpret what it might mean." Some senior crew members exchanged skeptical glances. "We've observed energy anomalies before," one said, "but communicating, that's speculative." Arden spoke up. "Speculation is where discovery starts. Humans have always advanced by exploring the unknown, asking questions, and experimenting. We can work with the AI to understand the signals, but humans need to interpret them. Leora added, we need to think differently. Look at this as a puzzle, not a threat. If we approach it carefully, we can learn something remarkable. Dr. Selwyn considered their words. Very well, proceed with caution. Let human insight lead, supported by the AI, but safety comes first. The team dispersed, some skeptical but intrigued, others eager to see what Arden and Leora had discovered. In the lab, Arden and Leora began decoding the anomaly's signals. Holographic lines twisted in space, moving according to patterns the AI highlighted. The two humans worked side by side, their minds complementing one another. Arden focused on structure, noting sequences and variations. Leora considered context, patterns of repetition, and correlations with cosmic events. Notice this sequence, Arden said. It repeats every 7 cycles. The AI identifies the repetition, but I think there's more. Humans can interpret the subtle shifts, not just the numbers. Leora tilted her head, studying the holographic display. It's almost like music, she said. Each pattern is a note, and the way it shifts could carry meaning. Arden's eyes sparkled. Exactly. The AI can't hear the music, but we can. Humans notice patterns, rhythms, and relationships that machines can't translate yet. Hours passed. They tried different approaches: mathematical analysis, pattern recognition, creative thinking exercises. The anomaly responded in subtle ways, shifting its energy streams slightly as if reacting to human observation. Look, Leora whispered. It's changing in response to how we study it. It's like it's acknowledging us. Arden grinned. Humans have a way of connecting with the unknown. Machines can't do that. And that's our advantage. Later, the senior engineer, Mr. Kellen, entered the lab, curious about their progress. He watched silently as the two worked, adjusting holographic parameters and testing responses. This is incredible, he said finally. I've seen anomalies before, but never like this. You're not just observing, you're interacting. Arden nodded. We're learning, not just studying. Humans can think creatively and adapt quickly. The AI supports us, but we decide the path. Mr. Kellen studied the holographic display, clearly impressed. It's human ingenuity. That's what makes you exceptional. You're not limited by what's safe or expected. You're exploring possibilities. Leora smiled. Exactly. Humans don't just follow rules. We invent new ones when we need to. The engineer left, shaking his head in admiration. Arden and Leora returned to their work, energized by the encouragement. By evening, they had begun to identify repeating patterns in the anomaly's energy streams. The sequences seemed to correlate with nearby celestial events: the rotation of a distant star, the movement of a gas cloud, the alignment of planetary orbits. The AI could identify correlations but not the potential meaning. That required imagination. See this, Arden pointed to a twisting energy strand. It mirrors the movement of that asteroid cluster. There's a connection, but what does it mean? Leora considered it carefully. It's not just movement, it's communication. The anomaly might be showing us information, mapping something we don't yet understand. Humans can interpret, but we need to ask the right questions. Together, they experimented. They introduced small, controlled energy pulses from the station's sensors and observed how the anomaly reacted. Each response was subtle, sometimes imperceptible to machines, but humans noticed shifts in timing, intensity, and pattern. It's like a conversation, Arden said quietly. We're asking questions and it's responding. Leora nodded, her heart racing. And we're learning from it. Humans can adapt, interpret, and innovate. That's what makes us capable of understanding the unknown. That night, the station's observation deck became their gathering point. Holographic projections of the anomaly danced across the room. Crew members who had once doubted Arden and Leora's approach now watched silently, intrigued and inspired. This is amazing, one technician whispered. It's not just about data, it's about insight. Humans can see what the AI can't. Arden and Leora worked tirelessly, testing hypotheses and observing reactions. Slowly, the anomaly began to stabilize in predictable ways, revealing patterns that suggested it was not a threat but an entity of pure energy expressing itself through structure and rhythm. "It's teaching us," Leora said softly. "Humans can learn things machines alone cannot." "That's our strength," Arden's eyes gleamed. "Exactly. Humans think, adapt, and imagine. We don't just follow instructions. We create solutions, interpret signals, and understand patterns. That's why humans are remarkable." Dr. Selwyn approached the observation deck quietly. She had been watching from afar, allowing Arden and Leora to lead. "You've done more than I expected," she admitted. "You've not just observed, you've interacted. Humans can accomplish what rules and machines alone cannot." Leora smiled. "It's the combination, not just the tools. Humans with tools, imagination, and courage can achieve incredible things." Arden added, "And we never give up. That's the real difference. The anomaly challenged us, but humans adapted, explored, and learned." By dawn, the anomaly had stabilized further, its energy streams forming intricate, harmonious patterns. The data collected was extraordinary, providing insights into cosmic energy flows, communication structures, and adaptive patterns in space phenomena. The AI assistant had performed calculations flawlessly, but humans had interpreted meaning, understood relationships, and guided exploration. "This is remarkable," Leora said, gazing at the holograms. "Humans, with our curiosity and ingenuity, made this possible. We didn't just survive, we discovered, interpreted, and connected." Arden nodded, eyes shining with pride. "And this is just the beginning. Humans can do so much more when we think creatively, work together, and trust ourselves." Dr. Selwyn addressed the team. "Today, humans have shown what we've always known deep down. Imagination, adaptability, and courage define us. Rules, age, and experience matter, but ingenuity and collaboration are what make humans capable of facing the unknown." The crew murmured their agreement, some smiling, some nodding thoughtfully. Arden and Leora exchanged a quiet glance, knowing that their work had proven more than just human cleverness. It had shown the universe that humans could rise to challenges in ways no machine could replicate. The anomaly, now stable and understood better than ever, drifted silently beyond the station. It had tested humans' creativity, patience, and insight, and humans had prevailed not with strength but with intellect, observation, and courage. Leora looked at Arden. "We've done it. Humans can face the unknown, learn, and adapt. That's what makes us strong." Arden grinned. "And there's so much more waiting for us. Other anomalies, other mysteries. Humans will never stop exploring." The station continued its orbit above Earth, humming with life and purpose. Humanity had faced the unknown, adapted to it, and learned from it. And as the stars shimmered beyond the observation windows, it was clear. The universe had seen once again why humans were extraordinary. They had relied on imagination, creativity, and collaboration, qualities that no machine could replace. And with every discovery, humans were reminded of their greatest strength, the ability to think differently, adapt, and innovate. The space station floated silently above Earth, its metallic body glinting in the light of the distant sun. Inside, the atmosphere was alive with anticipation. Word of Arden and Leora's success with the anomaly had spread across the station. Crew members, engineers, and scientists were quietly discussing the implications. The young prodigy and his mentor had not only navigated an unknown cosmic phenomenon, but had shown how humans could adapt, learn, and innovate where machines alone could not. Arden stood at the observation deck, staring at Earth's curved horizon. His mind buzzed with possibilities. Other anomalies, other cosmic mysteries, they were no longer distant concepts. They were challenges waiting for humans to solve. Leora approached him, carrying a stack of reports and simulations. "The committee wants to meet," she said. "They've reviewed the data. They want to discuss what comes next." Arden turned to her, a confident smile on his face. "Then it's time to show them. Humans can do more than rules and experience suggest. We just need a chance." The mission committee assembled in the main conference room. Dr. Selwyn, once cautious and skeptical, now presided with quiet pride. Senior engineers, scientists, and administrators were present, their eyes fixed on Arden and Leora. Holographic projections of the anomaly floated in the center of the room, twisting and shifting as data streamed in real time. Dr. Selwyn began. "We convene today to review the observations and actions taken by Arden and Leora regarding the anomaly encountered in orbit. Their work has produced remarkable results, both in data collection and interpretation. Arden, Leora, please present your findings." Arden stepped forward first, his confidence clear. "The anomaly we observed was not just an energy phenomenon. It showed structured patterns, almost like a form of communication. The AI assistant helped us analyze these patterns, but understanding their meaning required human intuition, creativity, and adaptability." Leora continued. "Humans were able to interpret subtle changes in the anomaly's behavior, predict shifts, and guide safe observation. The AI calculated possibilities, but humans decided the best course of action. That combination, human insight and technological support, allowed us to succeed." The committee members exchanged glances, some nodding in appreciation, others scribbling notes. Arden clicked a control, and a holographic simulation played. The anomaly's energy patterns responded to the station's subtle pulses, demonstrating interaction. "Humans don't just follow rules," Arden explained. "We think, we adapt, and we innovate. That's what allowed us to understand this anomaly." Dr. Selwyn addressed the room. "This is more than an impressive scientific achievement. It is a demonstration of what humans are capable of: creativity, intuition, and collaboration. Arden's age does not diminish his ability to contribute meaningfully. Leora's guidance has shown the value of mentorship and teamwork. Together, they represent a new paradigm." A murmur of agreement spread through the room. For decades, the station had prioritized age and experience as measures of readiness. Arden's success challenged that belief. Talent, ingenuity, and determination had proven to matter more than years alone. After the meeting, Arden and Leora returned to the observation deck. The city lights of Earth twinkled below, a reminder of the home they were protecting and exploring from above. "We did it," Leora said softly, a smile spreading across her face. "We showed them that humans can rise to any challenge," Arden grinned. "And we've just scratched the surface. There are more anomalies, more mysteries waiting. Humans can face them and not just survive, they can understand and grow." Leora nodded. "It's not about breaking rules. It's about expanding what's possible." As they spoke, crew members began gathering around the observation deck, curious and inspired. Some approached Arden directly. "You really did it," one engineer said. "I never thought someone your age could handle that complexity." Arden shook his head. "It's not about age. It's about observing, thinking, and adapting. Humans can do that at any age if we're given the chance." Another scientist added, "Your work has changed how we think about missions. We might reconsider how crews are selected for future expeditions." Arden glanced at Leora. "That's exactly the point. Rules shouldn't limit human potential. We need to trust ingenuity and creativity." Leora smiled. "Humans have always found a way. We adapt, we learn, we explore. That's what makes us remarkable." Days passed, and the anomaly's data continued to be analyzed. More than just raw numbers, it provided insights into cosmic energy structures, communication patterns, and adaptive behaviors in space phenomena. The AI assistant had processed the data flawlessly, but it was human interpretation that revealed the deeper meaning. showing how humans could work alongside technology to achieve incredible results. The station's leadership officially revised mission protocols. Age restrictions were no longer absolute. Skill, creativity, and demonstrated ingenuity became the primary criteria for interstellar missions. Arden's work had shown that humans, regardless of age, could contribute meaningfully to exploration and discovery. Dr. Selwyn called a special assembly to announce the new guidelines. Humanity's greatest strength has always been ingenuity, she said. The anomaly we encountered tested us, but humans prevailed. Today, we acknowledge that age and experience, while valuable, are not the sole measures of readiness. Talent, creativity, and adaptability define our explorers. Crew members cheered quietly, inspired by the change. Arden and Leora exchanged a proud glance, knowing their efforts had created a lasting impact. With the station now fully embracing this new paradigm, Arden prepared for the next mission. A new expedition to study distant anomalies was being planned, and he had earned a place on the crew despite being younger than the previous age minimum. Leora, as his mentor and collaborator, would accompany him, guiding and supporting while learning alongside him. The night before departure, Arden and Leora stood at the observation deck. Stars shimmered above, infinite and inviting. "You ready for this?" Leora asked. Arden nodded. "More than ever. Humans have proven we can face the unknown, adapt, and thrive. Now it's time to explore further to see what else we can learn," Leora smiled. "And no matter what happens, we'll do it together. Humans, machines, and ingenuity all working as one." Outside, the station's solar panels glinted, reflecting the light of distant suns. Humanity's spirit, curiosity, and determination were embodied in every corner of the station. The anomaly had tested them, but humans had prevailed, not through force, but through intelligence, creativity, and courage. The next day, the expedition launched. The station adjusted its orbit to meet the new mission trajectory. Arden and Leora, along with a team of diverse explorers, prepared to study a newly detected anomaly far beyond the known star systems. The AI assistant was operational, providing calculations, monitoring conditions, and supporting their decisions. As the station moved forward, the crew reflected on what they had learned. The universe was vast, full of mysteries, but humans were capable of facing the unknown. Their strength lay not in weapons or technology alone, but in imagination, collaboration, and courage. Arden gazed out the observation window. "We're going to discover so much, and humans will keep proving why we're special." Leora placed a hand on his shoulder. "Yes. And this is just the beginning. The universe is waiting for us to explore, understand, and connect. Humans will rise to every challenge." The station moved silently through space, a testament to human ingenuity, resilience, and potential. The stars beyond were no longer distant and unknowable. They were a canvas for exploration, a place for humans to test their creativity, adaptability, and courage. And humanity, as always, would rise to meet the unknown, guided by intelligence, curiosity, and a desire to understand the universe and themselves. The anomaly, once mysterious and intimidating, had become a symbol of what humans could achieve. Rules and tradition had been challenged, innovation had been celebrated, and the spirit of exploration had been reaffirmed. Arden and Leora had demonstrated that humans were defined not by age or experience alone, but by the ability to think, adapt, and collaborate. As the expedition prepared to venture farther than ever before, the crew felt a shared confidence. Whatever they encountered, humans would find a way to understand, innovate, and thrive. And in the vastness of space, the ingenuity of humanity shone brighter than any star.